I'm fully prepared to talk little hoops, talk about some of the greatest basketball ever being played from Jokic right now. And these guys pull fast one on me because I jump in the lobby and they're chatting golf. They're chatting albatross returns, and I think it's a bait and switch, guys. I think it's time. I think it is going to make for great comedic relief for the people if we shelf the NBA, we shelf the BBM4 for 10 minutes, and we just do an albatross blind.
Let's do it.
Nez, so
Nez, you're
muted.
so muted.
It's in your best interest. It's in
Yeah,
your best
man.
interest.
Okay. I know actually I had a little bit planned to pump it at one point here. I'll go like this. I was actually looking up before we started here. I was looking up Derrick Henry's splits. I don't know.
Wow.
I was just looking up
Wow.
Derrick Henry's
This
splits.
is what we
man.
know what John does before, right after he gets that thumbnail done, posted 30 minutes before lock. He's like, it's just down a little rabbit hole. But hey, that's hilarious.
All
What
right.
did you find any actionable data in Derrick Henry splits?
Yeah. What do we? What do we need to know?
I didn't get far enough. Well, I was thinking about the daily contests and how we love Derrick Henry when he plays the Texans. And then I was thinking about how insane those games are versus the Texans. And then I was thinking, oh, week 17 and week 15, he has two matchups versus them, blah, blah, blah. So then I was just kind of like going that rabbit hole and like trying to find some like real life data. But here we go. Let's touch a little bunker here. Let's rake a little bunker. Let's what else we got?
Flip it, just toss a T, flip a
Toss
T.
a T. Yeah, toss a T on the first
flip
box.
a T is probably, yeah, there you go. Yeah, flip the T,
We got to Newbie, what do I got to know here? We got 56% full. It starts tomorrow morning at 4 a.m. my time. And that is the PGA. PGA starts tomorrow.
PGA Championship, the second major, yes sir. So it is going to be it's going to be really fun. This course and everything leading up to it and everything. It's been really fun to digest. I told Nez, I'm not even kidding you. Like I've listened to probably now a day's worth of content on 1.5x speed. I'm ready. Like I'm ready. I've turned into a full golf nut. I love it. So this course is going to be incredible. It is playing basically this was the last major that happened in 2013. They've totally renovated the course. They've taken out hundreds of trees, added 400 yards.
Okay, okay, let's dial it back 1 second there. What is the course called? Where is it being played this week?
It's called Oak Hills Country Club in Rochester.
Okay.
In Rochester, New York.
Oh, okay, sorry, I'm thinking of somewhere else.
There's a bunch of Oak Hills, right?
I'm thinking of Oakmont.
Yeah, it's Oak Hills Country Club in Rochester, New York.
Okay.
Previously played in 2013, was it? But it was a totally different course. Like it just totally different course. Like I said, they've added 400 yards to the scorecard. They've removed hundreds of trees. The greens every single green is redone. It's now bent grass greens. And they're like, a lot of them are basically elevated too. They're also basically going to be second, if not the first, like in terms of we're on the clock here. Let's just go in and take it's X-Man. It's you're either going to go with Xander Schauffele or Cantlay.
Okay.
I'm going to go with Xander.
Okay. And why is Xander?
There's no flaw in his game. He's good at absolutely everything. He may not be great and excel at one specific stat, but he's good, if not above average at every stat, and then like a lot better at some. But there's no weakness in his game. Let's simplify that.
Let's talk. I was looking for. I know that you and baseball have a sheet together with some ADP and that sort of stuff tracking, and then your guys' own rankings in there. I was looking for that, and obviously I'm too dumb and slow to find it as we're on the clock. But I'll get it here and get it in the chat there. Do you agree with how the draft board has gone thus far? Is that kind of what you're in line with?
There's a clear-cut top 5, and to me, there's a clear-cut top 2 right now. You can do a little wiggle room and add X or Cantlay at 3 if you don't want Rory because of recent form. But I'm going to take Rory. I think it's Scotty and John 1 or 2. For me, it's John Rahm and then Scotty Scheffler. I don't see a reason you can say like it's wrong either way. But I will say it's basically one of those two, and then the next 3. but I put it as a big 3, and I think it goes John, Scotty, Rory. And that's how I've been doing it. And then the next 2 as Xander and Patrick. And then after that, I think me and Chris are in agreement. You can just draft whoever you want kind of at this point.
Oh, nice. Well, Brooks Koepka is pretty alpha. Seems kind of like a dick on the Netflix shows.
Brooksy.
Who do you guys like? Who do you like?
Brooks or Matt Fitzpatrick?
Oh, definitely Brooks. Matt Fitzpatrick is he's like the young nerd kid who uses like analytics and shit, right?
He tracks every single shot and writes it down, and he has literally written down every single shot for the last. No, I love him.
What a dork!
No, he was a small.
I want the guy banging Instagram models.
No, he was a small frail guy or kind of, but he's bulked up and he's swinging with his club head speed. He's getting it near the top of the tour pros, and he stands near 6 inches shorter than these guys. Yeah, no, that's the thing. False fronts and a lot of runoffs on every single green. So basically, you're gonna need what I was gonna say. Basically, fairways are extremely narrow. So we're looking for bombers, but it's also if you can be straight. That then goes down to about the top, maybe 10 or so elite guys, and then it kind of falls off whether you're actually gonna be able to hit it far and straight. After that, this rough is going to be playing near U.S. Open style, and for those who don't know, the U.S. Open plays almost one of the most the extreme major of the 4 in terms of just how difficult it is and how extremely hard to make the course. I think it's Cameron Smith here.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got Cameron Smith, Dustin Johnson, and Jordan Spieth. They're all live guys now, right?
No,
Spieth isn't.
Spieth isn't, but the thing with Spieth is he's dealing with the wrist injury right now.
Oh, nice.
And I don't know if his presser, he's having a presser later today to even determine if he's going to be in the field.
I'm not playing presser.
And the thing is with him, here's what I'll say. If he falls to the 8th, 9th, and 10th round, and we still and we still don't know, which that's not going to happen. He's going to fall that because of a withdrawal. He becomes interesting in that aspect because the guys in his range have nowhere near the odds that they'll have if Jordan is healthy and teeing it up at the U.S. Open and the British. It's just clear cut. It's not even a question. He's a better golfer in that range. He's a better golfer in this range specifically. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got you.
We're not these guys are still good enough where we're not going to do it. The question with Jordan will be, so that's going to be an interesting topic with him. But for right now, I'm out until the 6th because I've gotten around 4 6-round shares within the last week of kind of.
So this is the narrative if we were doing the dance or whatever, where Paul George is out. Paul George is out for the first round. If we get the Clippers through, then he comes back kind of deal. That's what Jordan Spieth is to us right now.
It is, and it's yes, basically, I'll simplify it. It's a very good example of that. So you can go with Burns I for my guy here, I'm a Tommy guy. I'm a Tommy Fleetwood guy.
Fleetwood.
He's been in excellent form now. Major history and all that will show you, but down here you're getting I would go with Tommy.
We got 2 Americans and an Oz on the squad. Let's switch it up. Get a Brit in here. Get a good English man there.
We'll get a couple of live guys in here as well. So it'll all be all.
John, you have my favorite pick in this field, which is Cameron Smith, because old Nezzy did a little research. Look at the week 17 odds, right? Because that's where all the money is, the British, right? Cameron Smith is top 5 in futures for winning the Brit Open. So,
oh man, all we got to do is just get him through.
Through.
We just gotta. We need the plays. We need the plays to push Cameron Smith through now.
That's an interesting tactic that I will say in the later rounds that Chris and me talked about in the other streams, and that we like to employ is some of these later round guys that may not perform right now, but if you can sneak that lineup through, we'll have a lot better chance of familiarity with a British Open type course over across the sea.
I gotcha. Okay, I'll ask you one more question after this. Keegan Bradley is the only name I know in this range. Justin Rose.
So Tom Kim is a really fun name. The thing is with him, it's apparently he was a fake withdrawal from the U.S. Let's go with Adam Scott. Click Adam Scott.
Testing my speeds here, buddy.
Yeah.
So I'm big on Adam Scott. Just this.
Does he still have Tiger's old caddy?
I don't believe so. No, I don't believe so. That's
that
been
was
a
like
couple years.
That was the story back in the day.
For me, it's not with Tom Kim. As Tom Kim's a great golfer, and he's my guy. I call him my sweet prince. He's literally 20 or 21 years old. He's legit.
Okay.
And he's just so much fun. But I think actually having like major championship experience, notably like PGA Championship, US Open, and British Open now going, is going to be very helpful in the type of golfers. And that's what you're getting in Adam Scott. The dude is like a professional. You just hope he's turning it on, and he's been in some good form right now. So that's kind of my reasoning behind that pick. And like I said, it's golf. You can really choose whoever you want. And my last 50 drafts, I will say, I've just been grabbing some guys at the opposite end of the boards, just so my drafts look totally different if they advance. Like I said, it's golf, and these odds are so similar that I'm going to go with just kind of guys in recent form. And it's a really interesting aspect now that we actually have projections and know the course, and we're not weeks and weeks out and whatnot. So
now, okay? We're on the clock again here. I'll ask you in 1 second here. I know this other Kim guy. I know Gary Woodland because he was in the last major, and I lost money on him, I think.
Let's do. So okay, let's do Gary Woodland, and I really like Wyndham Clark. The thing with Wyndham Clark is supposedly after his like recent victory, and it would have been either a week or two ago, I swear, he said he was going to take a week off from golf and just party, and then come back for the PGA Championship. That doesn't seem.
Do you know your audience?
John,
I would have clicked the shit out of that.
John, I get that, but that doesn't seem like it worries me a tad bit with these golfers in this range. And the thing I was talking about just earlier with Nez was Gary Woodland. If he can chip and putt at all this weekend, gain just even strokes gained in chipping and putting and approach. I mean, he's been like just spot on from off the tee and distance, and that's what you need on this course. So, it's just going to be a really interesting. British Open is basically week 17, and that's where all the money is. It's going to be really interesting there. But if anyone is basically watching for the first time, you're not going to do golf, I do would advise just to check this course out on a maybe Sunday when it's getting heated, just to see what it's like, because it's going to be really fun. It's going to be, I think the winning score right now, the odds have dipped into the single digits, and we're looking like -5. It's going to be a really tough course. It's going to be really it's like going to be a test. So
I'm just scoping to make sure there's still some Canadians left here that we can mix in late. Why aren't we taking Bryson here?
Maybe he is.
I am, but I usually am waiting a little bit. You can definitely push it up and get a little texture, so that's fine with me. There's definitely guys up here. There you go. Just fine with me. Bryson is skinny Bryson now, if you didn't know that.
Now
you know, right? He's skinny Bryson now, and he just had his best to basically finish on Live this last week. So he's got a little recent form coming in. That's the same thing going in with Cam Smith and Dustin Johnson. Cam Smith has had 3 top 6 finishes in a row. Dustin Johnson was in that playoff in great form. You usually don't hear DJ say, like, you normally never heard like him say, "I feel great. I'm in great form. My swing feels great." And he's said that multiple times now, and he's coming in. So I think it's going to be really interesting. And this being kind of just a brand new course in general, and being a bomber, it sets up well for DJ as well. If he's in good form there.
Now I'm going to ask my macro question, and you're going to think of who we're going to draft next too. But my macro question is, are we optimizing for the devil we know, or the one that we think we know in the future, in terms of we're just playing to win this contest right now, get these guys through, and then it's golf, anything can happen? Or are we looking for guys to win the Open, and then, from a strategy here, let's make the pick first.
Let's do Seamus. Seamus Power.
Absolute nails last name.
Yeah. He's gonna provide. He's been in great form, and that's a guy that, again, sets up to your question here. these guys, the guys from Europe, basically Europe, Australia, they play in much different style courses than we're doing, link style courses. If they have any familiarity with that, if that's something you can look up, basically, because I mean, off the top of my head, I can give you Shane Lowry, I can give you Rory, Cameron Davis. I mean, the list goes on and on. I can and then go on. The people who play on these link style courses, which are in Europe, which is going to be no trees, the grass is totally different. It comes off the face, so you can do that research and say, I mean, there definitely is optimizing for that final week, and that's what I am doing.
And that would be optimizing for link style golf.
Basically optimizing that. You can look at pre-British Open odds would be a great way to do that. I think a fun way to do it as well is some people are very scared of you see if you go to Chris's sheet, you'll see the availability for this week or for this tournament, middle tournament, and last. If you see a maybe or a no, for the U.S. Open, which is going to be the second in this leg, people are a little scared to take that, which I understand. You want the most golfers available, but there are a few on that sheet that can gain access to the U.S. Open. Also, anyone can qualify for the U.S. Open if they really want to. They can do that just based on their official Golf World ranking if they win a tournament. Here, I think we take
Tony Romo qualified.
Let's optimize for this final. Let's go Ryan Fox.
Oh,
Ryan Fox,
New Zealand.
This guy. All right, Ryan Fox.
So he's back this week.
Adam Fox's brother.
Precisely. And basically you can take guys like this. There's a guy, Robert McIntyre. There's a guy that'll play well in British courses. There's Thurston Lawrence, Victor Perez, guys like this that are going to be Euro players that play well on that, but maybe don't have won't be like a usable week for the US Open. You can kind of punt that. It's interesting because with the tournament being shaved one leg and now the championship being in 2 rounds, you only have to get through 1 then 2 when you're in that final week. It makes it a little more viable in my mind to have one if you're doing a punt option, you know what I mean? Especially one punt option that can possibly gain availability in that second week.
Okay.
So a guy that I'll name off here that would be an option would be Thomas Peters. He's a live guy that is going to be playing this week. He most likely isn't going to get into the US Open because he's playing in live. They don't gain enough official Golf World ranking points. So unless he basically places, I think, top 5, 3, and or wins it, one of those stipulations, he has to place very high. He most likely isn't going to get into the Open, but he's in the Open Championship, like the British Open. They call it the Open Championship now. Yep. So that could be a guy that you could take in your last round that no one's taking, that all of a sudden it's like, come Open Championship week, he's projecting and popping well. And if you get some of those lineups through, so thinking,
who do we like here, Neumy?
Let's do, we could do the Thomas Peters. I like Mackenzie Hughes and Adam Hadwin both. Those are both also options. What I was going to tell you about guys that I've been
a little maple on this lineup.
Yeah,
guys that I've been
little maple syrup sprinkled on the end of this thing to sweeten her up. Are you kidding?
Yeah.
The thing with Mackenzie Hughes, here's his stipulations. He's a yes for this week. He's a maybe coming in for the U.S. Open and for the Open Championship. The thing that he has going for him is he is 61st in the official world golf rankings. So you can go to Baseball Sheet, and in there, I'm not saying now, but you can go to Baseball Sheet. You can click the major qualification criteria tab, and you can check out to see where he kind of lands right now, how his odds are going, what he needs to do to place there. Because he very well could just continue to
copy that and put it in the private chat so I can click on it.
Yeah.
And right there, that's perfect. You can click on that and then see he just needs to play a little bit well, get up there in official Golf World ranking points, and he's just going to qualify for the Open and all that. So
yeah, that's cool. Yeah, man, there's a lot that goes into these. These are I could see the strategy and the meta behind it being really, really cool here. Here, we'll click on here. So you have your rankings baked right into the sheet. Look at this. There's tons of people right now. And then broken down into tiers with the ADP trends. Oh, this is great. And then okay, so then you have literally the parameters on the right-hand side. Yes, maybe if they can qualify and or get in.
Yep, and mine, I'm going to re-rank them,
Interesting.
I
Okay,
think,
so-
this afternoon, as I've talked with Chris a little bit on stipulations and whatnot. I did it very late at night to get them up there. People wanted some ranks, but yeah, it becomes interesting because, like, a lot of the guys that you see up there for maybe, Chris has kind of already added on the right, like 3. Like, they get 3 in there because, like, they're going to be in there, barring some unforeseen circumstances. They're going to be they're going to be in those tournaments, but like, there's a lot of names back there that I think people can get like weird with, and I don't even think it's that weird because, like I said, it's golf. You know, there's 2 guys back there, Sepp Straka and I believe he's a Canadian boy as well. We could have picked him, but Sepp Straka and Scott Stallings. Now, they may not be in great form, they may not fit like these courses and all that, but like, if they play well, they make the cut. They're automatic 3 for 3s. They're not even maybes. They're not even they're in. They're nothing they have to. They're going to be showing up. So,
guys, scratching my itch, Neumy. It's scratching my itch, dude.
I'm saying, I've been talking with Chris and I've been trying to talk with Nez, and right now, like, I'm at 103, and like,
hell yeah,
I'm gonna max it, and I think there's just edges because if you just look at odds, which I will say, you can also click on there, John, just the player stats tab. Just click that player stats tab, not the rankings. It should just be on the
22.
Just right next to information and right next to baseball's rankings on the left bottom.
It's like the second tab.
Yeah, second tab.
Oh, I had to go back. There you go.
Yeah, you're good. So this will tell you ADP, and it'll also give you the odds for every tournament. You can scroll over to the right a little bit, and you can see the specific odds, and then he puts them in a rank form, so you can like see and everything. So you can kind of like add that up and get you know what I mean? Like Bryson DeChambeau right now. The sheet's telling me he's got odds at the next tournaments that are just better than anyone in that range. You know what I mean?
Right.
If you scroll out, like, it's just incredible. And like, we know that can change if it continues to be bad, but it's just like, we know what Bryson's ceiling is. So just looking at that option. Exactly. Yeah. When he was chunky and wasn't getting, there's a hilarious quote. Shout out No Bo Sox. Put it in our Discord. If you're not in the Deposit Kingdom Discord and in the BadgeBros channel, you're missing out, especially the golf where we're talking nonstop getting info. He posted a funny article about Bryson basically wouldn't eat vegetables because they tasted bad. And he had to get his trainer to sneak vegetables in, and he's like, yeah, by like 3 weeks I was eating like 21 vegetables a day. I didn't even know because they like tasted good. She made them taste good, and it's just hilarious. A little kid, but yeah, no, it's been really, it's like, my point was, I think there's an edge because if you just add up the odds, like, there's guys you can find here that are going at different ends of the draft board. Like, you would say, you thrust someone up, you get different, you get the texture. You can do that so easily here because I can find guys with odds that have yeses of yeses, and I can move them up a turn basically. Or they're normally getting taken at the 5-6. I'll take one of them at the 4-5, and my team is instantly different if that moves on because everyone seems to be going by ADP right now. And if they aren't, they're like not stretching it that far and going like 7-8 picks.
I got you. Yeah, for sure. Because like the variance in like those back end golfers is kind of like when we were doing the dinger drafts, where it's like these back end guys is just like a clump. You know, and you know, any one of these pitchers can be the breakout. Any one of these golfers can be the breakout. The Bryson one's pretty sharp here because I'm seeing, 47 ADP, and then he's a lock to be in all 3 of the remaining majors. And then if you look at his odds to win the last 2, we're talking 29 and 25th best. Maybe this course doesn't set up great for him this week, but still,
it sets up very well. According to if Bryson is the same Bryson, you know what I mean? If he's, but he's not going to lose that far off distance. We don't have strokes gain data from Live, but like it sets up very well to comps of other courses. It really does. And what I will say to that variance, we just had the Albatross. Rory McIlroy was +7. Like, he was legitimately +7. And missed the cut. Maybe I'm wrong by a couple, but that man missed the cut and gave you the most he had 0. He was not in your lineup. If you have some Rory lineups, like, you're looking like, whew, like, those are most likely going to be unique. That's the variance in golf. The number one potential, people were like, should it be Rory number 1? He was people's number 1 at points. Like,
right.
He didn't even make the cut. He only golfed 2 rounds and they were terrible. So that's the variance in golf in general. And to that Harris.
And then Phil comes out and balls out.
Right there. And the contrasting point is, to my point on the stream before, I laughed basically at Dark Sheep in our 250 longest drive, who I hope he made it through. I didn't know. He was in my pod basically because we drafted it. He takes Phil Mickelson. And I'm just like, yeah, that'll be a 0. That'll be the most unusable score ever. Blah, blah, blah. Like Tiger will do this and that. Tiger withdraws after doing that. And Lefty comes out. He's like, yeah, I know this course like the back of my hand. And it's just, so yeah, it's really interesting. And to Harris English, it's just the odds aren't great. I'll have to look specifically at the recent form. I think that was a little bit why I was off too. Just this course didn't really set up for him. And it's like, if this course didn't, US Open is going to be harder. How well does he play on links golf? And my little bias shows I'm just really not that big of a Harris English guy. So, but yeah, I don't know.
When I see Harris English put together, all I think is Harry Styles. I have no idea why.
Right? Yeah. It sounds like Trump calling Tim Cook Tim Apple. You know? Like
right.
English.
That's so funny.
So good. Yeah,
that's good.
Spot
really
on.
Good. But yeah, anyone wanting to get their itch, this is free resource. Like I said, we have the ranks in there. All this is at your disposal. Go in, make some ranks, auto draft it up, push the plane, and then come in there, check your exposures, get whatever, switch them up, do whatever you want to do, auto a few. It's a good time. It's a good sweat. I will say having the golf sweat is unlike any other. That'll be my last plug. The cut sweat and then the actual finish sweat, like being able to look and be like, I need this guy to literally like par this hole and he will make the cut and allow me to potentially just like, because I think I will say this score, it's going to be a very low scoring tournament. And I think it's going to be a very winnable tournament by a lot. Now, like I just think a lot more people are going to be in the hunt due to how difficult this will be. Maybe one will separate. Maybe you'll have that guy that just totally owns it and he's like, this is nothing. But
low scoring as in like densely scoring as in like someone's not going to go off for like a -18.
The odds went from like plus 10.5, like basically as the score, like over under 10.5, like basically strokes, like -10.5 to like 8. In a couple hours, and then it keeps going down a little bit. It's like I don't know where you can find it, but it's gone down. It's gonna be a tough course. So
all right, let's do hoops. I mean, guys, don't dupe me because I just shipped the damn thing with one bullet here. Xander, Brooks, Cam Smith, Tommy Fleetwood, Adam Scott, Gary Woodland.
149 more, John. Like it's all good.
Yeah. I got 149.
If my man can sit there and auto draft hoops and learn that, he can understand and figure out PGA in an hour.
He's gonna come in on Friday, like talk about like how we don't like the field isn't up on like Mito Pereira. Like, why is Mito Pereira going so late? Like the way he's always been like so dominant in crunch time. I can't wait.
That's literally what's gonna happen here.
I know.
Oh man, that's good.
Can't wait to see Rotorun in a lobby coming near you, folks.
Yeah, it's coming. It's coming. Let's talk a little hoops. The first game of the 2-game slate for the conference finals, game 1 took place last night. Just absolute dominant Joker performance. Just incredible. Man. I mean, this guy is out of his mind right now. I think it was a Bill Simmons tweet that I saw. It was just like rough 96 hours for Embiid. Like, just, it's so damn true. Like, this guy should have been the MVP, but they just didn't want to give it to him a third time in a row. And, I mean, he's playing out of his mind against a Hall of Famer in AD, right? Like, AD's going to be a Hall of Famer. I mean, think so. And just to see him doing work like this. Yeah, I don't know. Would you guys think, I mean, he's probably going to be the piece you need. Sorry. The only other way I could see you winning this tournament right now, or the 2-day tournament right now, is if you had AD fall to the 4 or AD fall to the 3 pick there, and you have some combination of like AD and Butler or AD plus LeBron, something like that.
You're muted.
I can't hear you, Neumy. Neumy, muted.
Yeah, I'm sitting very good. I'm just gonna say I'm probably gonna mush it, but of my 20 little lineups, I have 7 AD and Jamal Murray combos, which are very fun. Nice. And then I had 62% KCP last night, so
let's go.
I had all of the Denver starters, and then Aaron Gordon way down below. So it was fantastic for me. And then I ran it back with, I showed you guys at one point, I had like 55% AD because no one wanted them. And he showed up and balled. I was a little more in on Austin Reeves, or actually D'Angelo Russell. So that kind of hurt, but I'm set up at least to make a little bit of money, hopefully for tonight. Like I'm a little excited for my exposure and all that. And like, yeah, I had obviously Jokic, if you just lucked out with some 101 luck, like good to you. He had like 49 at half or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was incredible.
Insane.
It was, he almost had a double-double at the 4-minute mark in the first quarter.
I mushed my best Jokic-Murray combo by taking Aaron Gordon and going onslaught. That was bad.
He tricked me hard.
Well, Aaron Gordon looked nice too. I mean, I watched the first 2 quarters of that game, and then I didn't see the third quarter, and then I saw most of the fourth. And Aaron Gordon looks like he has like a good size mismatch on the floor out there when they push LeBron off of him, or they let LeBron sag on him, play LeBron on him, and then let him have the space to shoot from 3. I don't know. I thought like that would kind of play well in his favor. I threw out a tweet during the game there that I just don't think they can run the 3 guard lineup. Like I just don't think they can run the Schroeder, Reeves, and D'Lo lineup. I just think they're going to get absolutely murdered, and that's what they did for the first 8 minutes of that game. Basically, they just got killed on the O glass. So I do think they need the size, and I think that is going to be our biggest like talking point and change from game 1 to game 2 on this new contest is what do we do with the Vanderbilts, the Ruiz, that sort of thing? What do we expect from a Lakers game 2 lineup? Because we basically saw D'Lo go to the bench for the entirety of the fourth.
Yeah.
And I don't know. If he's not hitting shots, he's not doing anything for your team. And I think they have enough ball handling guys, right?
Isn't it interesting? Like the way that we drafted this contest yesterday, and we're drafting it again today. And we have like 2 contests where we don't know how the Celtics and Heat are going to adjust and play against one another. And we have to make 2, but we have informed decisions on the Lakers side. Like, and so it's just like, I don't know, man. I was like kind of like grappling like with this, with like the lack of information that we have, and we have to draft 2 contests based on this lack of information. It's really tough, but I think you nailed it, man. Like the size that the Nuggets have is just it's a problem, and I think the Lakers adjusted well to it, and they just like made Jamal Murray absolute food on their defensive end. Like the Lakers offensive end was just pick and roll on Jamal Murray every single possession at the end there, and it worked really well. But unfortunately, the Nuggets were just able to answer every single time. So
I want to ask you then, Nez, when you say that, when they did that, do you think if you go fourth quarter LeBron plays as the on-ball guy, D'Lo goes to the bench, Rui stays out for size factor, right? I mean, I think based on what we saw last night, it's Rui over Vanderbilt, and Crutch is saying the same in the chat there. But you go on ball with LeBron and you run high side screen and roll on with AD, with the your 2 best players and probably your 2 most powerful, biggest players. Do you think there's something there, or do you think they want to keep running that with Jamal?
I think it's going to be Reeves. Reeves is setting the pick every time. So if they can get well, it doesn't even matter, because like if Reeves is out of the game, it's just it's more or less whoever's guarding Jamal Murray. Or whoever Jamal Murray is guarding, I think is like, so it'll be interesting to see how they adjust to that, because they made that loud and clear that like they are going to attack him, and it works. So that will be interesting how they adjust to that. But I think Rui is like, to me, like, okay, like I think Rui is going to be seeing the floor more. Russell does seem like nice leverage. I haven't been in a lot of these streets. I'm not sure what the market is thinking about.
It's soured big time
on Russell. Is he like 5th and 6th?
5th, and I mean, I've gotten a few 5th round, and then I pushed it one time at someone in the basically 5th and 6th pocket, and he took them, and then I didn't. But yeah, they've soured on him, and I mean, I think rightfully so. But of the guys in that range, he definitely has a ceiling where it's like all of a sudden it's look, it's the first 9 points, it's a D'Lo game. Like he's going to be very heavily involved. So
this is interesting, because the same thing happened at the beginning of the previous series, right? where it was Reeves wasn't really playing all that hot at was it the first series or the second series? I can't remember right now, but it was one of the two where D'Lo basically had back-to-back games where it looked exactly like this. He wasn't in the closing lineup. The second series?
I think.
Yeah, where he wasn't in the closing lineup. It wasn't the guy you needed. It wasn't whatever. And then all of a sudden, he's the guy you need the following slate. Like, it was like preemptive where I think he had a 28 burger in one of those games or something, like literally points, not fantasy points. And he was like the piece you needed in one of those games. And it just flip-flopped overnight because he got hot shooting. I think it was between series. It was the start of the second series.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Yeah, I don't know. It's just interesting.
Yeah, I know. And now we finally get some information tonight on the Celtics. But like I said, we are waiting on like our last contest to finally cash.
Well,
and this one,
both these teams, the shooting is going to be so unsustainable. I mean, they absolutely shot both teams. I know Denver especially, but like even it was Denver was just shooting the lights out.
Yeah,
like,
they crushed the over by like 20 points or something, right?
It was just, just the efficiency. I don't have it like offhand. I don't literally have like their numbers, but you could just see there were just the shots that they were making. It was first Jokic, then Murray, then Porter, and then it was another one by Murray. Like it was incredible. It was like literally it didn't matter how close someone could have been in their face with the hand there. The shots were just gravitating towards the basket. It was unbelievable. So that's expected to come down. But my question is, what's the over under for this Celtics Heat game?
It was like 210 or something.
It's 211.
Like, that's crazy because the amount of points and just how fast paced this series is going to be compared to this Boston Miami series is going to be, I think, something you're going to have to consider in your lineups, because like if you have potentially more like 4 Miami Boston guys, you're going to have to it's going to have to be where they're putting up the same amount of points from that, or it's a blowout from the other game and it just doesn't matter. And then you just need those scores to boost it, because like, I just don't think there's going to be enough points to go around. It's going to be such a slog unless Boston picks up the pace a little bit. Miami just wants to not run.
Yeah, it's interesting because it's also like, I think the rotations are far more condensed in the highest scoring series too, right? Because we do not see Denver go deeper than 8, like ever. It's like Christian Brown is the cutoff, right? Like he's like the 8th guy and he's going to play 12 minutes.
You might as well not even include him.
Right. There you go, right? So it's like
he's good,
rotations. Yeah. It's very interesting, yeah. And then so we're left throwing darts at the uglier of the two games just because of the plethora of potential options that could find their way into playing time.
And I think there is some really interesting storylines in this Celtics and Heat game. Like that we could be looking at from the guards on Boston, anywhere from, Smart to Brogdon to maybe Derek White is like back into like relevancy just because of the lack of size on the Miami rotation size, where like now all of a sudden Derek White is like going in the 3rd round because he put up like a 30-point game. And Rob and Time Lord is starting along with.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you guys. Do you think he's starting?
That's what they said, right? I mean, they like, why would they tell us the truth? But
yeah, that's what they've said. And then they went last series where he didn't start the first 4 games, I think. And then he started the last 3. Does that ring a bell?
Yeah, either the last 3 or the last 4. But I believe it was the last 3. So he closed out as a starter to finish the series. So
yeah, so it was kind of like their answer to like the Embiid stuff was like, hey, we'll just play 2 bigs on the floor, right? Yeah. And they put him and Horford together, and then Derek White falls out of favor in that. You could see the opposite, as you're saying, is like, everyone soured on Derek White. Derek White was going undrafted. Derek White was going, or not undrafted, but fringe undrafted. There's a couple 6th-round teams that I have with Derek White, right? Where he just, the projection models hated him and he was falling like crazy. And Time Lord is actually one of my highest exposed players right now. But it's very interesting because you could see the rotation flip just because there's no size. You just go, okay, yeah, you want to go Horford versus Bam. fine. That's entirely fine. We'll let that go. We'll force Bam to close out on the defensive end because you have to respect the fact that Horford can shoot. Yep. And then on the defensive end, it's just kind of like, well, we haven't seen Bam dominate O glass, right? Like, we haven't
starting to come alive a little bit, but like Horford can sun some of these like younger bigs, man. Like if Horford can hold his own against like Bam, like I feel like that's like a huge X factor in this series, is like, because otherwise then if they need to bring in Time Lord, I feel like that's not good for Boston. If they're forced to, if Horford can't hold his own against Bam, like that kind of opens things up with it kind of slows things down, I guess, if they have to bring in Time Lord, because offensively he's just not a threat. Yeah,
it's really interesting because I think you're better off with, who do you think will be 6-man up then? Because if Derek White's on the bench, he falls from starter to like 7th man, because I think Brogdon's still 6-man off the bench, right?
Yeah.
So, and I think, I don't know, I think the Celtics want to play small in this series, is kind of what I'm getting at. So I think it is a little bit smoke and mirrors that Time Lord is going to start tonight and Time Lord's going to be like this. I do think we could see it flip by like game 2 or 3, that Derek White's back in this starting lineup. Time Lord's playing like 16, 18 minutes, that sort of deal. I don't know. It's going to be very interesting to see. It's all speculation at this point. It's going to be very interesting to see what we end up with. A
lot of leverage though to be had, right? I mean, in both contests, because if you have a lean, you know, you could really capitalize on some of these values. But like I said, I haven't really been in too much today. So I'm excited to see. I've been capitalizing on the 210K baseball contest. So just a little shout out there. They up the ante on the afternoon slate. It's usually 5K, and they doubled it because those things fill like before you can finish breakfast usually. So
wow, nice.
Yeah. I'm pumped about that.
Man,
so
everything's just popping right now. It's so fun.
Oh, I love it.
Last night, if you want to talk about the 5-man stack stuff, I had 3 Arizona 5-man stacks.
Oh,
none of them were in the top 10 or top 25. My highest one.
The wrong guys
30.
or wrong pitchers?
Well, the stack was free, so one of them had Longo in it, who took a 0, and that one was with and that one was with Kershaw at pitcher. Then another one was at Kershaw with pitcher with Emmanuel Rivera in it.
Ooh,
or not with Kershaw at pitcher, someone else. That's why it didn't. Someone who got tagged up, Gosman.
Yeah, he did get beat up a little bit. All right, we got to think about this one.
Yeah, we got to think long and hard about the guy who's put up 81, 72, 67. He put up another 80 burger in there somewhere.
Can you believe crazy, on where I sometimes will bet odds plus money for Jokic to record a triple-double last night? So, LOL.
Yeah, LOL indeed.
Thanks for that.
No, can you guys do me a favor? Do you guys have any? I want to do a dance check-in. I think I have 2 teams left or something like that. Do you guys want to add them to like kind of like screen share, and then we'll pull them up after this draft?
Oh yeah, I'll happily share. I mean, it's looking thin. Like my odds are thin, but I'm technically live. So
yeah, I kind of agree with Crutch's assessment here too. It does feel like the Brogdon series.
Yeah, like one of these guards, man. Like Brogdon, Smart, one of these guys, man.
Yeah, that's a good point from Chad. Just like the high variance nature of like D'Lo, where it's like if Dennis is in your lineup, it's just like if he starts, he's just giving you like 6th round 20 points, right?
Yeah.
Let's see here. I am team Bam.
Okay.
I think that's a tier break for me.
I agree. I think
this kind of
I think Bam is like sorry. I was like trying to get my shit set up. That's a no-brainer for me. I think the first 8 picks this is where the draft starts, is pick 9. And
yeah, I agree. I was team Smart yesterday. I'm overexposed to Smart in general. It's nice to see his projection catch up. It makes me feel smart.
I would take him.
Okay.
I would. I think
he
if
just
it
does
wasn't
so much.
if it wasn't smart, like
I'm a big Al guy there. I think
I have a lot of Al Horford. Been on Al for a while. I'm wondering if the field is going to overcorrect and like pile into like Reeves and Porter and these Denver guys, and now like KCP is like no longer a sixth, they're a fifth. Like I said 100 times, I haven't been in, so I'm like I've been scared to jump in because I'm like, what the hell do we do? We have a gigantic scoring bonanza yesterday. No information on Boston. Like, I don't like this. I'm scared. This is unfamiliar territory. But I do agree. Crutch is making a point about MPJ ceiling. I do think that like he's going to score at will all series. I think.
Oh, I mean, they were all scoring at will last night.
Well, yeah. Like,
you want to talk about a dude who came from nowhere and just gets to the rack at will? Bruce Brown. Man, if you don't make him pick up his dribble once he crosses half court, like if you don't throw someone up there, he's just going to put his head down, run as fast as he can, and jump. Like, that's what he's going to do.
Yeah, he's an athlete, man. He's an athlete.
Sick.
Yeah. He plays a fun style.
Man, I see, like, this is where I'm just like,
for that squad. Sorry, go ahead.
This is where I just go like, okay, we're just buying the dip here. It's like everyone's soured on D'Lo and Gordon. We just buy the dip here. Like, that's just
you almost have to, right?
Right.
I mean, I don't know, unless you want to take like unless you think Bruce Brown like over, like unless you think there's something there.
Like, I'm never taking Bruce Brown over Aaron Gordon. Like, Aaron Gordon's going to start no matter what.
Like that process, if you do.
Yeah.
I just wonder if like what is Aaron Gordon's ceiling?
Right. Yeah. What is Aaron Gordon's
like
ceiling?
legitimately like
it's the Clay
all
argument.
things. I mean, and for Aaron Gordon, all things have to freaking come together. Like to a T, where the jump shots that are being made need to be Aaron Gordon. The steals need to be falling into Aaron Gordon's lap, not anyone else's. The rebound and tips need to be not going to Jokic. They need to be going to Aaron Gordon. Like, Aaron Gordon needs to be Jesus himself, it seems like, to put on a fantasy relevant score. Meanwhile, Bruce Brown and KCP are out here just shooting the lights out because they can actually shoot, spacing the floor for Jokic. And now the point, I forget who made it last night. It was unbelievable, which made sense. It's just like, I mean, it's another reminder. Jokic is doing so much to get his other like these guys involved that they're actually just playing at the defensive end so much harder than they normally would play, because he's literally just slinging them a pass on offense. They're wide open. They get the three. Next thing you know, they're jacked up. They're ready to go. Adrenaline. They're in on defense, where it's incredible. So you honestly have a talking point. Like, if this continues to happen, like, how much longer do you take Aaron Gordon and he continues to give you 18, 15?
Right.
Oh, he got you 22. Yeah. Congrats. 18.
Yeah.
18.
No,
oh, he got you 25. Good job. It's like
I
just don't know what to say. And I guess I don't know how. I haven't been in the streets as much. I'll have to go back on this reason. But like, how far do we have to go back before this man put up a 30-point game?
A ways. Yeah, a ways for sure.
And like, so we're treated, so we just have to, I think, in just terms of what we're seeing on the court, if it is a ways, there's a guys down here that have been put up multiple 30-point games in that stretch. So is that just fluke, or is that just the way the offense is being read? What do you do here?
This is just the Derek White team. Like, I mean, it's just like, hey, you just hope that he either starts, or he's not going to start, or he just is the seventh guy and fills it up, right? It's interesting. Yeah, these drafts are weird because, like, what's the difference? Okay, to your Aaron Gordon point, what's the difference in Aaron Gordon and Kev Love's stealing?
Like, and I don't get me wrong, I think Aaron Gordon probably has, like, if you want to break it down in ceiling, I'll give it to Aaron Gordon and over a lot of these guys. I won't argue that. Like, I think he has the ceiling, but I think his ceiling of what I think it is has been diminished quite a bit. And it's not, I think it is an imaginary ceiling, and his actual ceiling is like 27, 28 points. Like, that's just theoretical ceiling to me. Not going off projections and giving the number that it will tell me, but it's just interesting.
Yeah. There is one little wrinkle with the Lakers that I think they could throw in, that if Bamba's ankle's okay, he was inactive last game, I don't think they go as far as Gabriel or Thompson. But if, like, between one of these three someone might need to eat some minutes at the 5 just to give AD a breather and or get some size on the floor as well in tandem with AD. It's so thin.
If they're going to Tristan Thompson, yikes.
Yeah.
Yikes.
No,
game over.
Exactly. Right.
If Jokic is doing, Jokic will put up a triple-double in 5 minutes on Tristan Thompson. So, I don't know. It's interesting. Mo Bamba has been every single game. It's been like a day or before. Mo Bamba ruled out. Mo Bamba. So I don't know if he's trending up or if that's just a perennial out tag. That's just a cue. But yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. They keep mentioning him.
Every day since the start of the playoffs. Mo Bamba's been questionable. Mo Bamba's been out. Mo Bamba's been. It's like, okay, is he just out?
Yeah, are you planning on actually using him?
Or is this is there a strategic reason that's doing something for finance where he's on the team but he's not? I don't know. There's reasons where they do this crazy stuff where it's like, oh, he's not going to be good. I don't know. So it's interesting.
Yeah, I'm looking at some spots here where you can flip the board and stuff. Like you were suggesting, the Horford goes over to the 3rd pick there. I think you can push Austin Reeves up. I think Austin Reeves feels like the safest Laker that is not LeBron or AD now. Like I just think he's just going to be on the floor to close, and even if Austin Reeves is like, 0 for 13, he's still going to close over D'Lo. Like 100%. He's still going to be out there. Michael Porter, I think it's a really sharp point just in terms of like ceiling versus floor guys. Like Michael Porter just feels like he's surpassed Aaron Gordon in terms of both of those things. The Brogdon question 100%. Is just kind of like, is he the 6th man? Does he fill it up? Do they play small? He gets extended minutes there at the expense of Time Lord. I think Brogdon feels really nice. KCP getting like the obvious bump based on last night's performance. I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm not sure I'd take KCP over Aaron Gordon and D'Angelo Russell right now. Certainly not over Russell, because Russell can do exactly what KCP just did last game, but I don't know. Yeah, it's interesting.
KCP is getting KCP is just getting consistent minutes and actually performing well in those minutes. Like I just hold on. Let me look at KCP here because I want to bring this up. What are we sitting at? Brothers getting 26. So I think the down game for him was when maybe they lost to. It was kind of they lost to Phoenix. They didn't really need, but otherwise he's getting like a consistent he was getting like 35 plus. He had that 26 game. Whereas, like you said, if Russell is to Chad's point, if Russell's on the court and he's shooting well, like they need him on the court and they need his scoring. But if he's not shooting the ball, they don't. D'Angelo Russell provides nothing else to that team at all besides his shooting ability. Yeah. So they're just gladly put him on the bench. Whereas KCP, what does he do? He actually adds that, and he's been doing more on the defensive end, getting locked in. Like you look at his last games, he's averaging 3 stocks a game in his last 3. I can only see on Underdog. I can't bring up his reason, but if we actually want to go a trend, I think the trend is actually pointing up there, and it's not even just going, oh, this guy's hot. I just think it's the way that they match up and they actually play these teams well. And I think Aaron Gordon is a great real life player. I think he adds so much to that team going out there and guarding, doing what he does defensively. If Jokic is going to be doing what he's doing, like I think if you're betting on Aaron Gordon having not an 18 performance, maybe a 30 plus, you're also then betting on Jokic coming down quite a bit as well. Yeah. Right. So, or Murray or something, but
yeah, I think this is a good exercise just because like, if you look at, we've said this so many times, when you just look at projections and upload projections, like you're going to get crazy overexposed to both D'Lo and Gordon at a price point you probably don't want them. So if you just put those in and auto rank with auto draft with no tinkering right now, it's very interesting because you're going to get overexposed to both because their mean projections are always going to be so much higher than their actual outputs, right? It's the way projection models work. Like that's just how it is. So like I've been manually adjusting like Aaron Gordon and dropping him down a good amount, but you still end up with, it feels like Ayton too. Ayton was the exact same way in the previous series where it was like, if you don't manually adjust for this stuff, I don't know.
I have an exercise. Go to the rankings quick. I don't know if you have them in there, but like go to basically where Aaron Gordon starts, and I will tell you every player that I'd rather have over Aaron Gordon. Just in terms of what I'm seeing it like. But I mean, I think legitimately I would rather have for sure I'd rather have
there.
Well, Al
Horford, Brogdon,
Porter, Brogdon,
Reeves.
I would have Reeves, Kyle Lowry, Bruce Brown. Like I would rather have these.
You'd
guys
rather have Bruce Brown, huh?
Yeah, I would. I think Bruce.
Wow.
I think Bruce Brown is.
What about D'Lo?
See, that's the question. I think Gordon and D'Lo get moved down. The thing about D'Lo is he actually provides something in real life points and scoring. It depends what D'Lo you're going to get. I think I would have D'Lo over Gordon. I do. I think I would have D'Lo over Gordon. But that one's really close. That one's not a smash or anything.
Because if you look at if you just look at projection models, like I'm staring at Stochastic right now, for instance, and Russell is projected over Gordon, and it goes Russell, Gordon, Porter, Brogdon, Reeves, Horford. Like if you just put those ranks into this and auto draft right now, I think you're lighting money on fire.
100%.
Yeah,
it sounds like it to me. Like it's giving you a baseline. I don't know what if they're bringing in, which rightfully so. Maybe they're bringing in the recent trends, like actually the season, whatever. But I think Chad also brings up a really good point.
There's mean projection.
But I mean, how much they're weighting towards what you've seen in recent performance. But Chad brings up a good point where Aaron Gordon, he put up a 51, a 39, and a 40. People saw this. That's why he was so inflated when Jokic was resting. You know what I mean?
Yeah, at the end of the season. Yeah.
So if they're using that and they're using into that model, of course it's going to be inflated and his projections continue to be high. Like, oh, look what he did and this yada. But I don't know. It's just. And then Carlos brings up that basically his highest scoring game was that 32.2 against Phoenix. So if that's the highest scoring game of the entire playoffs you've got from Aaron Gordon, it's interesting. It's at least a discussion point. So, which is really interesting.
I think Rui is the best 6th round pick right now. I think Rui feels like he shouldn't be down there at all. I think Rui should be way higher up.
I agree.
Just based on closing last game and how he can shoot. I mean, he's been shooting it well recently. And I mean, he can do a lot, right? Score from the mid-range. He can be big, help side defender that AD needs. I think it's not out of the realm of possibility that they just start Rui next game and just not go with the 3-guard rotation.
Well, what guy here, if we're going to go into it, if you're left with that Derek White decision over and over again, who's the potential other option? Who's the other option there if you're just faced with the board that you're normally with? And then it's Derek White at the top, and then all of these guys. Or are you just going with Derek White over and over again? Because I kind of feel like with crutches here, where the biggest value trap since the start of the playoffs are that, and you're just going to be stuck with it. The biggest value trap since the start of the playoffs were Aaron Gordon, Derek White, etc.
Yeah.
I do agree with that. Of course, I think he has the ceiling. To your point, we don't know exactly what Boston's going to do. I think Robert Williams starts this game, and I think White is going to be suppressed in minutes, just the way it's been. It could be totally different. Foul trouble could happen, yada, yada. But it's just, he feels like a trap where he's just going to get those 11 to 15 minutes, be inefficient, be the way he has been. We've seen what we've seen. There's going to be Tatum, Brown, Smart on the court at all times when he's there. One of those three, if not two. So he's not going to be the focal point, including Brogdon. He's just not going to.
Yeah, his only path is if he gets hot from 3 and then he starts getting some long rebounds, basically.
And he does his Derek White all of a sudden, and it's his third block as he's running behind someone and does the Derek White swap because that's what he does with it. So it's in the realm of possibilities, but it just doesn't seem like that's his trend. So who are we potentially subbing in for him for this value trap? If that's there, and it's tough.
Yeah, I mean, Duncan Robinson can get hot from 3 if they need something off the bench.
If a good shout. I mean, it's thin, but I mean, it just if we're thinking, I get it. If we're thinking in terms of ceiling outcomes, I do think it's Derek White. He offers the potential best ceiling. If we're reading in trend and we're looking at this, does he though? Does he potentially though? So it's just I think that's an option. And I agree with you. Duncan can get hot, and he could easily match Derek White. Yeah. We've seen him put up 22 points again, or 25 against the Knicks, and then 9. That's not far off from what Derek White normally is doing, right? What is this dude normally putting up? 6.
I think Crutches summarizes it. I think Crutches summarizes it perfectly. I fully agree with this. The Rui is the clear best bench option that will be a 4th and a 5th round there. and then taking any of the Miami game guys not named Love, playing whack-a-mole with those ones, and then Time Lord, and then Lonnie and Schroeder.
I agree with that.
Yeah, you might be better off just taking Love and hope you get like 11 and 9 in like 20 minutes.
Or Lonnie Walker, and you just hope that he hits his game and he falls into the 13 points and he gets the 2 steals. So next thing you know, he's got a 20 burger. I don't know.
And it's a cop out and it's kind of grim. But I also think if like you're left with like these guys that we're talking about, then like you're not winning money.
Right.
You need to get lucky.
You need to get lucky in the 6th with like super team, like someone else pushes up Derek White, and then you're the guy.
We have to talk about it because like we're drafting
Rui at 24.
Yeah. We have to talk about it because it's all of us in these goddamn lobbies all the time. So it's
right. Yeah,
you're not going to get lucky all the time.
Well, I just can't wait till it's the Mo Bamba is activated. It's his game. Next thing you know,
baby.
15 minutes, 3 stocks. He gets like he's on the boards. He's given that relief for AD. Puts up like 19, and John's just like, Mo Bamba and all this stuff. I don't know, something. It's
guy can't out bench press me though.
I agree there, Nez. It's going to be the super team, quote unquote, where it's like, wow, wish I would have gotten that lobby. That's what's going to happen. That's what most likely is going to be there, barring majority of the 6th-round picks failing and a bigger, lesser unknown guy like thriving. I see that as well.
Last exercise here before we do a dance, 30 seconds or less. Rank these 3 for me because we're playing what, and I guess you could put Love in there.
Strus, Martin, Vincent, Love. Strus, Martin, Vincent, Love.
Martin, Vincent, Love. Nez.
Strus, Martin, Love, Vincent.
Love, Vincent. Holy shit. I like Vincent best.
Over Strus.
I mean, like these 2, I won't take them over that, but I'll take them here. I'll take Strus and then I'll take Vincent. I don't know, man. I just like as a dude who's starting, who can just fill it up from 3, man. Who just,
that's Max Strus, right? A guy that's starting can fill it up from 3.
I think Strus and the rest are like, it doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
I don't think
Kevin Love's it's very interesting.
Unless Kevin Love is like, you see him immediately get like a couple bucket, and like he literally got the first bucket of the game and then a rebound. He had a quick like 6 points and he ended with like 13. Like he becomes the D-Lo of that team where he's just not on the court in the second half.
This is a good nugget from Chad here that since February, Aaron Gordon is a minus 0.32, so strong negative correlation to Jokic, and Jokic isn't really leaving the floor. I mean, you see Aaron Gordon. This is a really good point because you see Aaron Gordon fill it up when he slides into those with the bench guys and he slides into the backup 5 minutes, right? And now all of a sudden, Aaron Gordon's playing backup 5 against whoever the fuck the Lakers are going to roll at the 5 in those settings because we saw AD come off the floor at the same time Joker comes off the floor, right? So then now all of a sudden he's playing like backup 5 with Rui, like defending him. That's probably a good matchup for Gordon, and that's probably a mismatch. But if he doesn't eat in that like 6 minutes that happens on either side of the quarter change, like Aaron Gordon's not getting there. But if all of a sudden Aaron Gordon gets like 8, a stock, and 3 boards in the window of time, which Joker's not on the floor, that's how he meets value.
Yeah, I agree. And
all right, Nezzy boy, let's
All right.
Let me see what you got here.
Dude, you have to understand these, and I'm sure you have live dance teams as well.
Yeah, I got 2. I'll bring them up after yours.
Dude, these lobbies are tough. These lobbies are freaking tough. So I don't anticipate anything advancing because I'm up against Jamal Murray teams and like some Jokic teams. So this is one of my better sitting teams right now. I'm tied for second. And this one where I actually have Jimmy Butler in, but no Bam, sadly. But it's all my teams are built like Russell, Reeves, LeBron, AD, and then this Jimmy team. And then I have a team with the 4 Lakers with Tatum and Horford, and 4 Lakers with Tatum and Time Lord. So
you're a big Lakers fan right now.
Huge Lakers fan. But so is like everybody else in these goddamn lobbies. So
I wonder why.
Yeah.
Wonder why with their suppressed ADPs for about half the contest.
Yeah, I told him, man. I tried to tell him on Club Top Shot. But here's Neil. Neil's sitting in first in this lobby, and he has Jamal, LeBron, and AD. So I can beat him. I can beat
that. Yeah.
I just need Reeves and Russell to combine. And then here's this guy with the same team I have. But it's 4. So I can beat this guy. So this Lakers Jimmy team, I'm actually like a huge Heat fan right now because I think I can beat everybody in this lobby pretty much.
Yeah.
And then this team over here, I actually like this team. This is my Time Lord team, but like I'm up against like an absolute monster. Here, this guy has me matched with Russell and Reeves. He has LeBron, and he has Jokic and
Vanderbilt and Jokic and AD. Holy shit.
I'm fucked. So,
dude, he's got Vanderbilt as like the one-off, like just random stocks game.
Dude, right? How like
game 6, 30-point Vando games.
How unfair is that? And then
my
last team here, I believe, so this is my Horford and Horford AD, Tatum, LeBron with Reeves and Russell. I thought this was so sharp and didn't give myself any outs.
I didn't do enough two wings teams like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's smart. Like when you get 2 elite wings, just like shut it down. This is the thesis. It's Boston Lakers finals. Those are the 2 wings you need. Shut it down.
Yep, and then I gave myself some outs with the Knicks here. So I was kind of hoping the Knicks would advance because this team would have been nasty if I had a Knicks Celtics Eastern Conference. But as you can see, I'm in 5th place here. And this guy, I can beat this guy. He has no guards. Buckets of Truth has Jamal Murray with Jimmy and Jokic and AD. So, like, can't beat Buckets of Truth. This guy has Jamal with Russell, with LeBron. So, like, I'm out. Like, immediately out.
Yeah.
So, I need Jimmy. This is my only team where, like, I have any sort of hope. And betting on the Celtics to lose doesn't feel fun. So,
no, it doesn't.
That's where I'm at. It was a good run.
Yeah. It was a good thesis though, like because you were big on the Lakers early, and we did get some good closing line value on Lakers teams, like one of the ones that we did together here, they'll show, or maybe did together, I don't know. But yeah, it's just like those Lakers teams aged so well with 7-8 round LeBron plus AD kind of deal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was so obvious. I was like, this team is coming on. Like it was like they were playing. Like Reeves was so cheap. They were playing so well. Do you have a team to put on? Otherwise, you can just look at my sadness.
Yeah, I only got 2 left in the dance. Let's see this one.
Oh yeah, the one we did together. You do have that.
Is this the one? No, the other one's the one we did together. The winner one. Yeah, that's a funny one. Okay. This one's got Smart, Tatum, Braun, AD, Time Lord, and Horford. So we're gonna need a lot of scoring from bigs and use the bigs in the flex. It's not crazy improbable that this team could get through because I think there's only 2 Jokic teams in this entire pool. This is a solo Jokic at the 5 team. And then, there's 2 there. And this guy has the AD Jokic combo. So that's going to be tough to beat because I basically need.
He has no guards though, it looks like.
Yeah, that's a good point actually. And his only wing is Aaron Gordon. So Aaron Gordon's just going to put up 18 every game. We got a chance there. And then this was the one we did on stream where Neumy ridiculed us for not taking Trey. It scored 0 points so far, but none of its players have played. This is the one, the Tyler Hero team.
Come on, Tyler.
Come on. We need Tyler Hero back for the finals. He's the piece you need, the ultimate leverage. But this is a Heat and Celtics, and I think nobody from the West left. So it's dead. But
I will say, man, if this finals is Lakers Celtics, my prediction is first place is getting chopped like 30 ways.
Yeah, it's not.
I think there's gonna be so much overlap.
Yeah, it's because it was so readily available early, and the only way that that doesn't happen is if you have some extreme outlier team that is Tatum, uh, Brown, and LeBron.
Yeah, which
And if it's possible, it was possible early in the draft window that occurred. That team could potentially do super well. Like that could be the differentiator. But if Jaylen Brown would then have to make sure he outscores in the flex, the Marcus Smart, the Derek Whites, the double bigs, and then that's the path to victory for that team. But I mean, I'm not sure if you could hand pick who you want left in the dance right now. I think that would kind of be the team, right? Like you would want AD, LeBron, Tatum. I mean, like I'm thinking of realistic combos.
Yeah,
reasonable combos. Like we couldn't necessarily have, we can't really have Joker plus Tatum or Joker plus Jaylen Brown.
No.
Really. Yeah. So it's Joker plus Jamal plus AD plus LeBron is possible. And then Marcus
Brown,
Smart.
KCP.
Yeah. And then Marcus Smart, Time Lord or something like that. Like that's conceivable that something like that exists.
Yeah.
But
I thought I thought I was set up for success, man. I was feeling really good. These playoff contests are fun as hell, but like, man, when push comes to shove, like there's some nut combos that are left. And I don't know what I would have, like to do this in hindsight, I don't know what I really would have changed. Like I felt pretty good about the way that I attacked these, and I thought I was doing something smart.
I agree with you. I think we did do something smart by the Heat late double stack and the Lakers late double stack. And then we also did it with the Clippers, and then we did it with Sacramento early in the draft window before the ADPs pushed up. I think we got really good closing line value on secondary stack teams that actually had a chance, right? And I think that was the good thesis. I think the one thing I would do differently is I would have treated it more like football and done it like team builds. Just pushing teams through. I think a little bit too much of the galaxy brain of the one-off guys you need didn't actually matter, like the one-off, like we didn't need Trey to push us through. We didn't need, and we got 5 games out of him, right? We didn't need that stuff to push us through. And maybe that's just how it worked out. And maybe that's just like the variance of the contest. But I think maybe we should have just kind of like stuck to our baseline principles of like stack the shit out of these teams, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, the fact that the Bucks completely like floundered too, like the injuries there, like if the Bucks advance, like this is we're probably talking way different, because they would have gotten a lot of usable pieces in. They were deep. Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's finish this out. I know Neumy2's got a hard out, but I'll be able to stick around.
Okay, cool. Bat signal. 3 more. BBM1V. Or V1? 1V.
IV.
Oh,
yeah, hook it to the veins.
Oh, I fucking hate needles. That gives me the heaves, dude.
I did it at home IV once.
Really? Like the hydration thing?
Yeah, it was nice. And it's kind of, you kind of have to talk to the person because they're administering it to you and whatnot. But like I was hungover. I would have preferred to like not speak. But she was too nice to not. And and she was telling me that her and her husband have like an NFT. They run like an NFT server on Discord, and I'm like, please do not shill me NFTs right now, for the love of God. It's the last thing I want to hear when I'm nauseous and with a splitting headache.
Shilling NFTs as she jams a needle into your arm.
The utility, though, Nez. Do you just let me get to the utility, then you know.
It's all about community.
Yeah, but she's sticking needles in my arm. Like, what? I gotta listen to her. Like, yeah.
It's the same equivalent of like your hairdresser, where it's like, she's cutting my hair. I at least be nice. You know what I mean?
Like, no, you didn't. He's making a Pete joke, I think, because Pete did that once.
Oh, did he really? Oh,
yeah, it was on stream, and he accidentally jumped in a slow Dalmatian when he was trying to do that. But have you jumped into the 2023 Dalmatian yet?
No, I'm waiting a little bit.
Yeah, I keep waiting. waiting for my slow drafts to finish up from this puppy, so it's just that one there. So it's just visually appealing to me.
Carlos, you fuck.
You made him sweat.
You got me.
Hey, I will say we got 45 of us here at one point. So for those of you that are potentially new, hit that subscribe button. That does us wonders there. We're trying to get to 1K.
Please.
When we can get to 1K, we can finally start getting those emojis out there. Give people we can start setting up and really thriving here on the platform of YouTube.
Yeah.
So please, it does help. Leave a like, which will also help that, just a little thing. If you're in here, just like it. Shouldn't be too hard, but I know the studies show if you're not told to like it, you just simply will not like it. And I agree. If you
I did it.
how many YouTube videos you're in there and sometimes you're like, oh wow, I actually did not subscribe. I didn't like, and this is useful. So just go ahead, do that for us. Hit the notification bell. We have all these tools for you. So appreciate it, folks. And let's get drafted.
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, man, this is crazy. The Coyotes had a vote to keep the team in Tempe. This is an interesting decision, gentlemen.
Cooper Kupp. I don't think it's interesting to me.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, Cooper Kupp for me is in my top 3 or 4 right now, and I've been taking him up there. Granted, I've only done like six drafts or something. I think it's him or Kelsey here, but having either of them fall to the 107 feels nice.
Yep. Yeah, I've been giving people 107 Cooper Kupp a lot because I've been trying to get overexposed to Bijan.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
So you're the JR money right now.
Please don't mush him like you did with Grayson.
Hey man, we don't talk about him.
He shall not be named.
We simply do not talk about Grayson Rodriguez.
Yo, this is actually a good show. Yotes to Salt Lake City. Yeah, so the basically they had a vote to keep the team in Tempe, which is like a college town just outside of. You guys been to Arizona, like in that area?
Yeah, my buddy actually, a friend of mine from college, moved down there, so I've.
It's nice area, right? Like I mean, great spot to have a hockey team and whatever. Anyways, the residents voted to not have it, basically build the stadium there.
I'm sure that's the outcome they probably wanted to.
Yeah, like force their hand to move.
Yeah, I think they wanted the fans to sour, so they could get funding to move.
I think Salt Lake City is a cool idea. I think Houston is a really good idea. And they just have to reno a facility there. I think Quebec City is amazing.
Does Tennessee have a team, or is that dumb?
Nashville.
They got Nashville.
Nashville. Yeah. Duh. Okay, I see. I'm silly there. I'm thinking. I was trying to think of like.
There's rumors that they're going back, like
Oklahoma
City.
Take
a team back to Atlanta. Like Atlanta used to have the Thrashers. There's some there. I don't know where they end up, but it's a shame they won't be in Tempe because Tempe is. I got a buddy who plays.
We're talking about the Arizona Coyotes, by the way. So they're not going to be Arizona anymore, right? They're just going to clearly.
Well,
do you think they move out of that?
Do you think they?
Oh, okay.
That's what we're.
So they're not confirmed to move out of the state. They don't know where exactly they're gonna.
Yeah, well,
why not Phoenix?
Yeah. Well, that's where they were for years, and it failed.
Oh, that's where they were.
They were the Phoenix Coyotes for years and years, and then they were actually in Glendale, which is just like right beside the football stadium. And then their lease was up, and they moved out of there, which is it didn't really make sense to me because we used to go down there all the time.
I can see them going to Kansas City,
Glendale area. Ooh, Kansas City, that's kind of fun.
Kansas City. They got
Cincinnati.
We got some decisions to make here with the Cooper Kupp. I was hoping that Saquon would come back, and that kind of little correlation.
Do you want my opinion?
Yep.
Tony Pollard.
Interesting. Okay, sure.
Just close your eyes. Think about it for a minute. If Tony Pollard finished as the RB1, like, would you be surprised if the stars have aligned like we've been waiting for, and if it actually paid off? Like, I think everyone's like scared. They're afraid. They're like, can this really be like? Is it too good to be true? And like, what if it's not?
Right.
Who would be surprised?
That's a good point. I mean, right now we're talking like closing line value, and we're talking about like guys who could thrust from this like secondary tier. I think this draft room is adjusting very well because we are seeing that like, hey, the quarterbacks are falling a little bit, right? There's I think that's correct. I think the quarterbacks should be falling a little bit, right?
I don't know how much they're going to fall, but I do think they should fall. I think you're going to see more like this. Like around this range, and then maybe in like the third. But like if it gets past the third, like I'm gonna be scooping up all day. Like I'll do Nick and Jalen Hurts.
Start.
Holy shit! I've been waiting on that forever.
We were snoozing on the ETR sub. What a sick name.
Where do they sub to? I wonder.
Yeah, I got my Leone shirt on. But that's actually fucking awesome, because that's the only way to get that to flip the board, because Devonta never comes back to the other side. So this guy comes in here and goes full game theory, bro. Goes flip the board. AJ Brown 101. We were snoozing, didn't even notice that, how we got Cooper Kupp over here. That
makes sense.
Wow, that's fun as hell. That's sharp. I like that.
Yeah, I literally just now like came to like, holy fuck. And I like that a lot. I like that a lot.
We talk about the flip the board contrarian paths, contrarian ownership. I mean, I would kind of be looking to do something like that later in the draft window opposed to early, but you don't know how ADP is going to shake. It may never be available again. So just get your guys in that facet, because like if AJ Brown was the 101 wide receiver this year, would anyone be crazy?
Right. That's what I mean. Like, not really.
Not really. Yeah. I think Debo's a tier break for me. I think I like Ramondre more than Breece Hall. And I think if you want to go elite tight end, we take Mark Andrews.
I like 5. Maybe Debo.
Sure.
Just because we're on stream. I've been doing a lot of like heavy RB builds, a lot of like hyper fragile stuff, just because these are like this pocket here with Breece, ETN, and Stevenson feel elite to me, and just like locked in points that like you just cannot get elsewhere. It just feels really safe.
Yeah. I think zero. I have no data to back this up. Caveat: no data right now to back this up. I think zero RB plays better later in draft windows because of the uncertainty becoming more certain. So the darts in which we are throwing at running back right now in the rounds, call it 9 through 12, 13, something like that, are incredibly less certain than they will be after, 2 preseason games, for instance, where we get a little depth chart clarity. So if you're building zero RB right now, I think there's some merit to what you're saying, where we take guaranteed touches and guaranteed roles now and early. And then later, when a little bit more clarity happens, maybe Dalvin Cook finds a new landing spot. Maybe, whatever, something like this shakes up the market. Yeah. That's when you get zero RB builds later in the season, right?
It's double-sided, because you can also say, well, get the backups before the injuries happen too. So there's that closing line value. Neumy, you gotta jump after this pick.
Yeah. I'll be here for this last one. Then I gotta dip out. So
all right. Well, then I guess you're making this last one, dude.
Set us up.
We're gonna veto your ass if it sucks.
Well, I'll leave you guys with the same thing you were just talking about. You're gonna go with Jahmyr Gibbs. You're gonna take.
You guys like Gibbs? Gibbs over Najee?
I'm pretty excited about Gibbs.
All right, let's do it.
I want to see what this team looks like after I leave, and you guys have to maneuver and finagle this down here. But I appreciate everyone stopping by. John Boy throwing a fast one on us and dipping his toes into the waters. It was awesome. My last shouts will just be join that Albatross Returns. Get your feet wet, whether it's 1, whether it's 10, whether it's max. Do whatever you want. The sweat will be unreal. I'll be back tomorrow with the fellas, and everyone have a great day.
Love you, shit.
Oh gosh,
first name.
I didn't even see that. Yeah, what's up? All right, peace out, everyone. Have a good day.
See you, Neumy. We got the overlays. You do.
There's a lot of good things going down in the chat right now. I will hit on those in 1 second. Friend of the show, John Boy Beats. Go follow him on Twitter and stuff, putting out lots of stuff there. But he put these in our Discord, just a nice, clean week 17 at a glance. Just save that, put it on your desktop there so you're ready. And I'm not sure if you know this, Nez. I'm not sure if you know.
Inform me.
In week 17, when all the money is available, the Detroit Lions happen to play the Dallas Cowboys.
Huh.
Yeah.
Did we just make the most nutted pick of all time there? Thanks, Neumy.
People are saying.
Actually made a good one. I'm kidding, Shane.
Here we go. Line of scrimmage coming in. Leone actually has real life data. I'm wearing a shirt and I'm
it's kind of the case.
Believe it.
It's more or less like the case with how regular season scoring works and advancing works is like teams that were drafted later, I think, scored more in the regular season.
Okay.
I believe was what it was. Just because we had more of that information. Or less dead roster spots.
Right. Yeah. Like what we've talked about so long is drafting in these early windows. You're looking for super closing line value. Drafting in the later window, their point totals are always going to be higher. Advance rates are always going to be higher because the market is more efficient and ADP is more correct with the more volume you thus put into ADP and the more knowledge in which we have becomes common. Right.
Yeah.
So, couple good nuggets in the chat here from Chad. This Eagle stack, according to our data, shout out Chad. I have the combinatorial ownership tab open here, and we have the Chad GPT data coupled with baseballs in here. Both of those are in the show notes below if you guys are looking for that information. Yeah, but just that's how rare it is right now through 134 drafts I think we've compiled.
That's
something
awesome.
like that. And the Cup Pollard one is pretty rare at the 5% so far.
Oh, nice.
I don't think that holds, to be fair.
Sure.
To be fair.
Oh boy.
Pitts?
Yeah. Pitts feels good.
Yeah. Some good conversation between Corain and Pete about elite tight end, and just like what you're looking for in terms of elite tight end is the potential to score 25 points in a week. Like that's just like what we're looking for. And basically that's all that matters in terms of like spike week potential to thrust us into a final is more or less the case of it, right?
Mm-hmm. I don't know how to like phrase this question or like what the answer would be, but like how having like that elite tight end that is like the guy you need, and now all of a sudden like he's the most owned tight end in the finals. Like, is that now like a hindrance? You know, if that's
right.
You know, it's like, so I don't know. It's just like this is such a freaking like puzzle, and I'm worried about your wide receivers. Don't worry, GA. Worry about your Coyotes, man. Don't worry about us.
No, yeah, I know what you're alluding to, right? And I think this is a really good point from Bones in the chat here is that, yeah, man, elite tight end is pretty polarizing this year, because it would suggest that elite tight end has performed decently well in recent memory, and yet everyone's kind of zagging away from elite tight end. And
I have like a hot take.
Okay.
Get this, right? Another hot take from me regarding best ball. I mean, when you take Kelsey, when you take these elite tight ends and you dedicate so much draft capital to it, I mean, at first I was like maybe single tight end, and now I'm like, well, you have to hit like the nuts 3 weeks in a row. That's kind of tough. I mean, what if you take 3 tight ends with these elite guys and give yourself outs for, you know, like
uniqueness outs?
Yeah, and those guys can be flex spots in the regular season as well, potentially. You know, like tight end floors are actually like not that bad if you get decent ones. You know, 2 tight ends is not bad, but we do need some wide receivers.
I like Tyler Lockett.
So do I.
Yeah, smart people around me have been saying that this Tyler Lockett value is pretty insane, and there's too much FUD because of the JSN, and his role shouldn't change all that much, and there's still going to be a high pass volume offense with a quality wide receiver in Tyler Lockett.
Yeah,
I mean Tyler Lockett's just getting the perennial Tyler Lockett treatment, which was the OG Doug Baldwin treatment, where it's like, this guy's like he's not going to break the slate. He's not going to be crazy, but he's going to have 1,010 every year, and nobody fucking wants him.
Yeah, it's wild.
I know Mark's really in on Tyler Lockett too.
Hell yeah, of course he is. Mark knows ball.
Mark knows ball.
He had a really good piece about Treylon Burks too with like the 33rd team.
Inform me. I didn't read it yet.
Yeah, just like the ambiguity of I don't want to like misquote him about Treylon Burks and just like the range of outcomes that can come from him. I think everybody is like rightfully a little bearish on Burks, but I think one of the possible outcomes is like they just keep Ryan Tannehill, and doesn't that seem pretty damn good for Treylon? You know, like just a physical freak, like. They get like the draft capital is there. Let me look it up so I don't misquote him.
Our guy Tom, I think it's, oh my god, I screw up his Twitter handle every single time now. Underdog Network, Fantasy Sanctuary. He's like
Starks, I
NFL
think.
Stacks or Starks or something like that, right? Because it used to be Best Ball UK, so in my mind that's how I think of it. Anyways, he's doing the cardio club. He can't draft on Underdog because he's in the UK. He's doing the cardio club and was running and does a little clip while he's doing it. It's on his Twitter feed there. And he was talking about how Tannehill has just basically declined the last like 3 years on repeat, and now is 35 years old, blah, blah, blah. So like the bear case to basically what you're saying right now, right?
Mm-hmm. And I do have it pulled up here. He's the TLDR is that he likes Burks ADP. It's fine if you're only accounting for like the median projection. But the downside he thinks is extremely real.
Right.
And he needs a lot of things to break in his favor for the ceiling to hit. So, you know, typical
So do we like him here or no?
So I like Jahan Dotson, but
okay. What about
you can go with whoever, but I like Jahan Dotson.
Dotson.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
QB situation is ambiguous, but like Dotson was extremely efficient last year, and it was a really good receiver in college at Penn State. I like Dotson. I think as a second year guy, I think he's like a sneaky breakout potential there. But obviously, like it's sort of similar to Burks, where it's like the QB situation is like really questionable. But Brissett is in Washington, and I wonder if he wins that job.
He could be this year's Taylor Heineke, right?
Or this year's Jacoby Brissett.
Again,
this year's I think more apt like Geno Smith, right? Where Geno was battling with Drew Lock and won that battle with flying colors.
Yeah. No, that's actually kind of a fun shout there.
Yeah,
I mean, Mark had a bunch of nice stats last year to back up your Jahan Dotson interest there last year, where he was saying that he was by far their best wide receiver against press man. Like in that, I mean, we all revere F1 as like a good wide receiver, right? And you know, the way Dotson was beating coverage was better.
And what's interesting is like Matt Harmon does reception perception, a really good tool where he grades every single receiver and their success rate and how often they ran routes. He called him like the best like zone receiver in
maybe I had it wrong. Maybe I had it wrong then. It was versus zone. Then.
Well, I was gonna say if it, you know, potentially you know, a little bit of both. He just does a lot, you know, and just always find his way in the end zone. I need to pull up our week 17 stuff so I can break some ties for us, because I don't yet have these memorized, unfortunately.
Yeah. Michael Thomas, Brandon Cooks.
I think if you do Cooks, you could potentially get a Dak stack just based on like the QB. And it's double, and we get the leverage. We get a stack there regardance. If we don't get the stack, we can look for Goff.
And we get that nice little week 17 Dallas Detroit, another little double down there. Yeah, that one, weird spot because the Javonte Williams is kind of who I wanted to take there. I don't know. It's weird because like we got that nice glowy report from Sean Payton where it's like, yeah, you might be like ready kind of deal.
I'm buying it. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I know it's coach speak. I need any, because like, what if if he's not lying, he's gonna fly up boards.
It's 50 picks of ADP.
Yeah.
Maybe 60. Like Brandon Cooks is going nowhere all off season, you know? Brandon Cooks could have the greatest camp ever. Dak loves him. We can do so much by stretching the field with him on the outside and CD in the middle and blah, blah, blah. His ADP is going nowhere. It might go up like 4 or 5 spots, but the closing line value we could get on a guy like Williams right there would be like astronomical, right?
Yeah. Yeah, he has the potential, like you just said, like 20 picks. And how about Madison going in pick 76?
Yeah,
he was
already anticipating the Cook being cut stuff.
He was like pick 100 like 2 days ago.
But that was another one that we talked about in the very first BBM we did, and we took him, and we're like, yo, another closing line value guy who's, you just read the writing on the wall right now.
I took a ton of him in the big board before I ended up just pushing the plane on those slow traps because I was just like, I don't fucking know. But went heavy on him. Okay, so far so good on the thesis with Dak, and everybody has a quarterback ahead of us.
Yeah. The Cortland Sutton one is very interesting. I heard Hayden say something the other day that he just thinks he's done. Like he might just be dust. And I was like, oh man.
He's not like a separator, right? Like he's just like a big body guy. Oh god,
yeah,
it's getting dicey.
And he could, if he's no longer in Denver, I'm not sure where his ADP settles. Right, he could obviously find like a decent landing spot or something. But if he's no longer in Denver, he's the 3rd or 4th on the depth chart for a good contending team who's like, we're going to take a shot. Takes a huge pay cut, comes in. Like that sort of deal. Or I don't know. Like, is he relevant this year? I don't know. It's very interesting.
What if he goes to like Kansas City?
Well, then all of a sudden
you're talking about a team whose wide receiver 1 is Kadarius Fragile Tony, Sky Moore, Rashee Rice.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But in that same vein, like, doesn't he feel like? Doesn't he? Yeah, I think Dak is the pick here. Doesn't he feel like little Allen Robinson-esque, where just like that same type of profile, like big guy, and Allen Robinson went to the Rams, was being drafted high, and just absolutely burnt people last year.
Yeah, that's a pretty good comp there. We got ourselves a nice little Dallas stack with Dak, Pollard, and Brandon Cooks there. We got the Jahmyr Gibbs, week 17 run back off that. Cooper Kupp, Deebo Samuel, Tyler Lockett, Jahan Dotson, and Kyle Pitts. That's a fun little start.
I like the way things are shaping up, man.
Yeah, I do. I kind of like this.
Yeah.
I like this so far. And not for the faint of heart, a little bit of week 17 correlation in there with Deebo and Dotson.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
That is 100% true. Let me see who else we need to eye up. The week 17 games, I think like everybody's kind of agreeing these matchups, or maybe it's just because I don't know. The matchups don't seem like that juicy, right? Doesn't it seem like there's a lot of like strange matchups here?
Well, if we use the cheat sheet here.
Oh, hell
there are 7 divisional matchups, which is kind of not that fun, right? And I think the Buffalo versus New England is kind of like a big loser here, just in general. And you want to talk about weather. You want to talk about a potential snowfall spot for week 17? How about Buffalo, New England?
Right? That's nice.
Yeah, we did a lot of stuff last year with the dailies about snowfall and that sort of stuff, but just potentially bad weather game, something there.
You know what else I found to be kind of a bummer was like the Chargers and Chiefs, like two like high powered offenses, divisional matchup. Their second matchup is in week 18. So we don't get like the regular
wow. For
season.
double bubble.
Yeah. No double bubble, single bubble.
Single bubble.
Yeah. Blue bubble.
I think we should go running back here.
This is a really nice pocket.
Yeah, we could do the Freiermuth and shut it down at tight end, but I don't think it's necessary. I think it's wasted capital.
100%.
I think I like Damian Harris here.
Yeah.
Elijah Mitchell kind of fits our team too, but we also have Debo. Who do you like best?
I like Damian Harris a lot.
Okay, let's do Damian Harris.
I think Damian Harris is like a back that they've never had in Buffalo with Josh Allen yet. Devin Singletary was cool.
Yeah, undersized, bad goal line back.
James Cook is like fine.
Pass catcher.
When have they ever had like a big bruising running back in Buffalo with Josh Allen?
Jonathan Williams.
Lest we forget.
Yeah.
Jonathan Williams. And it doesn't seem like they like I think they want to protect Josh a little bit, and like Damian Harris is just a different type of back that Josh just has not had. And I think potential goal line touchdowns, we don't have to use Josh as a battering ram anymore. Like the Harris thesis is he's Jamal Williams of the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Call it thin, but I mean, this is a high powered offense that should be in the red zone a lot. So I like Harris there, and
oh, sorry. Yeah. Go. I thought you were done because
the other thing I would say is Buffalo Bills is an offense that I would take both running backs in, and maybe that's bad because they don't use their running backs a lot in Buffalo, but I just want to get that backfield right. I think that they have a different philosophy. I'm hoping they have a different philosophy. That's a backfield I would take both running backs in, but it's high capital, so not quite as fun.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, the other way you could do it is take Nyheim Hines in the last round or nearing the last round.
Yeah.
You just
I'm not
bet on his.
I don't understand. Maybe teams are just becoming way more scared of using their little guys. Nyheim Hines, when he was getting run with the Colts, looked explosive, looked really good. And they just didn't want to use him like that. They strictly put him on special teams in Buffalo, but the contingency value should be there if, God forbid an injury takes place. Okay. So I have another hot take.
Yeah. Give it to me.
I think Cole Kmet is a good pick here, but I'm not sold on Cole Kmet. I just think he's a good pick.
All right, let's do it. I don't know if you know, week 17 correlation, Atlanta, Chicago, the two tight ends.
Shit. The double tight end correlation.
The double tight end. We're going to play both. One plays in the flex.
That's right.
We're not winning it. We're not winning $1 if we're playing a tight end in the flex with week 17 correlation.
But I think most people would agree that I think the Bears offense will be better this season.
Yeah.
They added DJ Moore.
I think I might have doubled down. I don't know. I think I probably would have gone running back there.
Yeah.
And I think I would have doubled down on either the Elijah Mitchell and Debo. So you kind of got this.
Yeah.
I don't know. This kind of fun San
Elijah
Francisco.
would have been a really good pick too.
Yeah. Or I don't know. I'm fine with it. I think we turned the blue button off after that one though.
Yeah. This one doesn't require, in my opinion, then this would not require 3 because that's really high capital into a tight end 2. But like I said, you can flex him in the regular season, potentially flex him in the playoffs. And my hope is just that the Bears offense is better than last year. And Kmet got quite a few touchdowns for a tight end for a position that's just desolate of production. But man, I want to
tie the bow on the Damian Harris.
Yes.
Week 17. Revenge game versus Bill Belichick.
Yes.
Finds the end zone 3 times. Come on. In the snow. Snowy game. Buffalo. They had to shovel it all out like last year, the night before. Oh man, I like this. I'm feeling this.
All right.
I got a plan, and I don't know if you're gonna like it.
Oh Jesus. This is where the team goes off the rails.
Off.
Not Goff.
Dude, this guy goes 3 quarterback with naked Goff. Cool. Yeah, it was
Nice.
Goff. It was Goff with Gibbs as like that week 17 Dallas Detroit.
Okay.
Jamal?
I can stomach Jamal Williams.
I think this team, like we spent a second and a third round pick on running back. I think it's going to be 5 running back build, but I do think I just like this pocket of running backs so much more than the wide receivers right now.
100%.
And I think once Goff goes there, because I kind of liked the correlation, I think we can just go ahead and wait on a different. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean Jamal Williams. Let's see this contract that he got. $3 million from the Saints. Obviously, we are looking at a Kamara suspension. Kendre Miller is there, but the way I kind of see it is like some semblances of like the and it's different coach, of course, and way different talents, but little like thunder and lightning with when like Mark Ingram was there and like Jamal being the ground and pound guy. He showed some. I mean, what he did in Detroit. I mean, yeah, all his touchdowns from the 1 yard line, but clearly seems viable, and the Saints want to use that. So, I don't think he's a zero, and I think in the running back position, like I don't want zeros.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want 0. I took a lot of zeros the last 2 years doing BBM2, BBM3. Listening to everybody, trying to do smart things. Just shoot like throwing darts at running back, and my advance rates were, and obviously I need to take some ownership of my, my own player selection, but advance rates like weren't amazing, and I haven't seen the finals yet in BBMs. So I'm trying to like change up my process a little bit, and I consider myself like a tuned in like player, and Pete didn't make the finals in BBM3 either, but just trying to like do some soul searching, like how come?
It's really fucking hard to make the finals.
It is hard. It is hard, but I'm like, how come I haven't been in there yet?
Well, I think our eyes are clouded in 2 regards. I think here, let's make the pick though. Mm-hmm. I think our eyes are clouded because we see Herzig, Karain, and Liam win. And we go, look at these guys. They're in the industry. They're doing content. They're doing this, and they're in our bubbles, and they're winning. And it's like that's a little chicken egg scenario. There's a whole lot of variance in there. They're obviously incredible players, but this field is so much bigger this year that like not making a finals could just be like, what do you think about Stafford with Cup?
Oh, nice. Yeah. I forgot we had Cup. That's perfect.
All right, let's do it.
I'm excited to see Stafford now after like I believe he had surgery, right? On his elbow.
Yes.
So like post surgery, I'm really excited to see him because clearly that was bothering him last year. And I think we are baking that in too much. That's like poor results from like the Rams. And I don't think the Rams are going to be good, but maybe that benefits Stafford in the offense. Now that he's had surgery, it's like my baseball pitcher brain, I'm like a guy comes back on like these surgeries. Yeah.
He's had Tommy John. He's got 20 more innings in his arm.
Yeah, dude. These elbow surgeries are not like ACLs and like and things like that. Like Dr. Andrews out there has been doing it for years, man. Like these guys can heal and become better players. So I'm warming up on Stafford. I was poo-pooing on him early on, but I think I was a little too down.
Stafford's this.
Pack it up.
This is good.
Turn off the overlays.
Oh man,
we're done.
Yeah, a couple good nuggets in the chat here. I think this is going to be the comp that's drawn all season is the Javonte to Dobbins of last year, and then like
fair. I'm not. Yeah, I definitely would not write that off.
Yeah, and we saw Dobbins come back, and I think it was Levitan made the video of like his first like his run, and it looks like he was all gimpy and limping, and getting chased down from the back. He did not look himself for a long time, and they did treat him with kit gloves for a while there, where they were using a lot of gust bust. They were mixing and matching there, so that's a good one there. And Chad giving us all the nuggets from the sheet right now. The 7-day high for Madison is 66, so we saw him 71 in this draft. Damn,
it's
Michael
over.
Gallup just went there. I was like sneaky thinking Michael Gallup was a good pick here.
Yeah, we might have to do a little.
I got one player here.
Who you got?
I got Taekwon.
Yep.
You like it?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Oh, nice. Okay, good. And then it works on 2 levels. I think it's a good breakout pick, a good ceiling potential pick, but then I also think he's a guy whose ADP is going to rise. And then we also get a little bit of that sweet week 17 correlation with Damian Harris.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the stars aligned there. Do you have any like Mac Jones takes this year? Do you think he's at risk of losing his job? Like, do you?
I mean, yes, we saw him come back and then get booed in a half, and then Bailey Zappi come in and play, and everyone thought he was the savior. I think that was a showdown slate that we lost because of that Mac Jones one.
Yep.
All right, it was like one of those 2-game showdowns with the two prime time. Yeah, and I mean that one sits top of mind obviously with him, and then obviously the rumors from the offseason swirling about maybe we'll trade him, maybe we can move on from him. This was the asking price for him. Yeah, I mean we kind of said from the jump, or I said from the jump, that I didn't love where he got drafted and how high the rumors were that he was potentially going to go at 3 to San Fran and all this stuff. I'm not a Mac Jones guy, but I mean, you don't need amazing quarterback play to make your number 1 wide receiver look competent for a season, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I feel like a lot of it is coaching too. Like they're like trying to make a fish climb a tree, and with the offensive coordinator there, with like they Matt Patricia, for a while. I feel like the coaching was just not smart over there. And I'm kind of like,
look at the difference with the Lions. Look at the difference with the Lions. Get rid of Patricia and bring in Campbell, and look at how much different that team was. Oh my God,
right? Yeah, like all the difference in the world. And then you can even look at, I mean, not Patricia, but like, what good coaching can do, with Dayball and the Giants. And it's not like I'm not familiar with the coaching situation in New England right now, but I know it's still like not great. But I say all that to say, like, I kind of think that the smoke was real with Mac Jones, where Trey Lance went, because you see what Brock Purdy has done with the Niners. I think that's a similar type of QB. And I think Shanahan really actually wanted him and was pressured into taking Trey Lance because of like the media and the owners. And I don't think Mac Jones is a bad quarterback, man.
Yeah.
I don't like I know that the results last year were awful, but I thought I saw enough rookie season that like he could improve and still be viable. So like, if he's there in like the 18th, like I don't mind taking him, because I think like taking a quarterback that is going to start in the 18th round is like not a zero and does more for your team than like Isaiah Spiller did for me last year.
Right. Yeah, sure. Yeah. No, I think that's
just stupid by me, but
I think we're going to go ahead and turn these buttons off for a second.
Yep.
I kind of like Isaiah Hodgins, or I kind of like Lenny Fournette. Hodgson gives us the week 17 bring back off of Cooper Kupp and such.
I like Hodgins.
Okay.
I like what I saw.
I do think in my mind when I might have angled you into that pick. Wendell goes right after. That's interesting. Because when we made the Stafford bet and like did the Stafford Cup thing, which is going to be super common, instantly in my mind, I was like, okay, week 17 run back of one of the late Giants guys makes a lot of sense there.
Yeah. No, I like Hodgins, man. I thought Hodgins was like these are just like me watching the film. I just thought he was like a smart receiver, you know, like he just did everything right. Like, you know, like the numbers aren't like eye popping, but you're not going to find any eye popping numbers at this range. And just his ability to like understand like situations on like first down, you know, he ran a lot of curl routes, would get hit and just like knew to just like fall backwards, didn't like dance, you know, like he just just felt like he got it. And Dayball being like a smart coach.
Joshua Palmer-esque smart wide receivers.
Yeah.
Like professional wide receivers.
Yeah. Palmer, by the way, is egregiously mispriced. I don't care what anybody says. He's I'm going to have him.
Yeah.
And now like this range of guys that we're looking at, by the way, is like sucks.
Fluid
like water.
Yeah. Like water. There is one player that I like considerably more than the field that I just keep clicking late. I don't really want to mush him for this team, but I'll go ahead and say it. I like Jerome Ford, man. We've talked about him multiple times now, where it's like, I think Chubb's mispriced because we got rid of Kareem Hunt and somehow he's more expensive than he was before. And in half point PPR, I don't care as much about the pass catching upside and that sort of deal. But man, Jerome Ford just seems mispriced to me.
Yeah, man. Who else do they have?
Nobody
in the running back room.
It's Jerome Ford.
He's gonna get run just because they're not gonna give Chubb all the work.
I think I kind of like Jeff Wilson.
I've been taking Jeff Wilson.
Okay.
He has
clearly like him.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, I got nothing. Just Baltimore likes him, or Miami likes him. They have Baltimore week 17. So that you know, we saw that high scoring affair in like week 4. Hopefully,
between those two, the big shootout in Miami.
Yeah, and even if he's not the guy, like I mean, at this range, like if he's just the guy sometimes, like then that's good. And I think that you can safely bet that he will have like 20, like 2 20-point weeks.
Right. Yeah.
Just based on the rotation, like Raheem Mostert's going to get hurt once. Devin Achane is a rookie, so there's nothing guaranteed there. We saw Jeff Wilson be pretty good, you know, in some weeks when given, you know, he was acquired via trade. He's got a really good price.
That last point speaks volumes to me, right? Like you have a coach come over from San Fran and he goes, okay, who are the guys I want? Who are the guys that I can trust? Who are the guys that I need? And he goes, okay, I'm going to pull Mostert over because he's the one I can get right now because he didn't have to trade for him. He could just sign his ass, right? And then he does that. And then mid-season, he goes, okay, we're dealing with injuries. I don't like any of these guys that we previously had on the roster, both the UW boys in Savon Ahmed and why am I blanking on Myles Gaskin? And he just goes, yeah, man, this ain't it. Chase Edmonds, we signed him to that deal. Everybody was, oh, this is going to be so fun. This ain't it. And then he just goes, who best fits this that I can obtain? Jeff Wilson.
Yep.
Like just follow the narrative of like a coach liking a dude. And then when we were doing those playoff contests and we were throwing darts at, you know, teams that could potentially get into the playoffs that had free in those late rounds, we were throwing darts at Jeff Wilson for those playoff contests last year for the what was it even called? The mitten, big mitten.
Oh yeah. Yeah. The mitten and the big mitten. We were all over Jeff Wilson. But then Tua, oh my gosh. But I think what's interesting is like they don't really like pass out of like the backfield. So I think that's like what made like Wilson and Mostert like they didn't need to catch the ball. They just needed to tote the rock whenever they did choose to run it. So yeah, I think there's some trust there. Miami I like, but it's like it's so scary, right? It's like, is Tua going to be there all, you know, I'm worried about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they shipped his ass out.
Yeah, they traded him, not cut him. My bad.
Might as well when you go to Denver. I mean,
I think we're done at the onesies positions, huh?
Yeah. I mean, I was trying to sell you on Mac Jones a little bit.
And just do a little third quarterback, Tyquan Thornton, Mac Jones stack.
I don't think it's bad. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Is it better than taking
I don't think Bailey Zappi's gonna. don't think that's happening. I don't think.
But what does this team need? What does our team need right now?
It's perfect. Doesn't need anything. What does it need? Well, I feel really good about the running back room. The wide receivers that are like,
okay, hold on. Sorry. I think we got 2 picks left, right?
Yep.
Like, I would rather take a dart on Kareem Hunt and get some closing line value of him going somewhere, or take the Gus Edwards week 17 correlation of maybe he's the guy with Jeff Wilson. I don't know.
Oh yeah. Hunt or Gus. I like we get some correlation, and it's Gus and Dobbins, right? Like that is like the running back room. And now we get to see it happen, and that will be a 1-2 punch for sure, especially if Dobbins continues to, look bad,
right?
Which he did. He did not look good,
and they've kept Gus around for years. Like they clearly like him. It's always him and Justice Hill. They've just kept on the roster forever. It's just like they're their guys, right? Like they're just stay around. Like these are the guys, and they had guys that showed out for isolated weeks at a time, like Tony Jones Jr. Like that's where he was originally, right? Before the Saints,
was he?
Yeah,
really.
I think it was maybe it was him or someone else who was there before and now has made like 3 stops since, kind of thing, and been relevant. And they elected to keep Gus and Justice Hill over like a guy like that who's clearly good enough to get run somewhere else. I don't know. It just feels like they're their guys, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I think that is like how they plan on using those guys for sure. Now like with the 18th pick, right? We've got 7 wide, like, and we spent a pretty good chunk of capital at wideout. Like we got 5 in the top 100. So like, I don't necessarily think that an 8th is necessary.
So nice.
I love this team.
This team's so nice.
I love this team. I don't know that an 8th wideout I don't know that the 8th wideout does a lot for this team.
I think there's one wide receiver that I might be able to twist your arm into that would do something for this team.
Does his name rhyme with Boo Boo Jatwell?
No, it doesn't.
Thank God.
Does it rhyme with
all right, well, Mac is gone anyway, so
okay. This is a very interesting build from Fully Loaded.
What's his QB room?
He punted QB until the last 4 picks, and then he took both the San Fran guys and then the guy who should have been a San Fran guy.
Dude, I love
Mac Jones.
I love that.
I was kind of monitoring it without saying anything as things were going there, where it's just and then he's got the Ayuk stack.
That was well thought out. This isn't his first time doing that. I know it isn't.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah, he's been thinking about that. Who's he have at tight end? I can't tell.
Oh, sorry. Myers and Higbee.
Okay.
It's a very interesting build. It's very, I mean, not financial advice, but it's definitely a very cool strategy. And then he set up the backdoor stack knowing exactly what he was going to do with Juju.
He was so mad we took Taekwon.
Ayuk. Yeah, he was either mad we took Taekwon or he still thinks Jacoby Myers is on the Raiders. No, but no, man, what he did here is so smart is he gave himself outs at Jimmy G too. He goes, what are the 3 last quarterbacks there?
Yeah.
Who
do you think?
Okay. I like Joshua Palmer. I think Joshua Palmer in terms of contingency value and just like professional wide receiver who's going to be on a roster, most likely the Chargers roster. I think Joshua Palmer is probably my favorite 18th round pick right now.
Yep. I'm glad you said this. I am glad you said that because he's got a great QB. So that to me makes so much sense. Do we get any added correlation there? Who do they play week 17? Denver.
Divisional game against Denver. So no week 17 correlation added with that one.
But they're going to smash.
Yeah, it's interesting because I'll say a couple names that I kind of like in this 18th round right now. I really like trying to get some closing line value on Kareem Hunt. I think he's a good football player, and I think he's been a good football player for a long time, and some team is going to need a veteran running back to come in. And if you're making a bet right now, you're an organization. Would you rather pay Kareem Hunt, or would you rather pay Leonard Fournette?
Oh man, I think damn, I don't know. I think they're so similar to me. I
Yeah, I mean, both
probably
good pass catchers.
Probably Lenny.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, dude. I actually I gotta bounce.
Yeah.
I'm late for an appointment.
Let's do it
with Bria. So I gotta take her out. So great team. See everybody. See you tomorrow on the Underdog channel. Good luck, John.
Perfect.
You got this.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I got. Let's reel this one in, huh?
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
See you, man. Sorry.
Pay for Lenny there. Yeah. The hunt just like potentially being, Hunt potentially being like a headache. I guess you don't think about the real world implications. Yo, later, Ben. Thanks for hanging out, guys. Let's see here. Didn't know you drafted till after. He's doing a cardio club. There you go. Beautiful. Yeah, I think this was a good little draft here. A little recap. We got Dak, Stafford, Pollard, Gibbs, Harris, Jamal Williams, Jeff Wilson, Gus Bus, Cup, Samuel, Lockett, Dotson, Cooks, Taekwon, Hodgins, Palmer, Pitts, and Komet. That's a fun little team there. Kind of like an elite tight end. Took 2 kind of running backs earlier. You probably could have capped at 5 running backs after spending 2 picks in the first 4 picks on running back. Like that we got the Stafford stack in there. Was kind of looking at Van Jefferson in this Hodgson spot too, but he went in front. So getting kind of like the week 17 run back makes a lot of sense. Not a lot of overlap in bye weeks. Got some mini correlations for the running backs in week 17, like this Wilson and Edwards. I mean, it's an interesting point because we use them as tiebreakers and stuff, but like when we're playing these daily ones and we're drafting these daily ones come the fall, it's actually slight negative correlation to have pieces of their opposing running backs in the same game environment, unless they're pass catching running backs, which is basically what Pollard and Gibbs are. So it's interesting that we wound up with so many, running back correlations, which are actually slightly negatively correlated. But from like an overall thesis standpoint, betting on a game environment this far out makes a lot of sense. But your standard 2-6-8-2, I mean, gun to my head, if you were like, hey, you could only build one roster construction for the entirety of the season, I think I would say 2-6-8-2. But yeah, fun draft there. This is a fun overall team. Yeah, like it. Appreciate everybody being here. Do us a favor. I'm not going to go full zoom for you guys. You guys don't need my face on the close here. Do us a favor. Hit that like, subscribe, follow on your way out the door. We'll be doing baseball on the Underdog Fantasy channel. If you don't follow that channel, there's a link in the description below. All the resources in which we used on stream are linked below. Hop in those golf streets. Those were fun as hell right off the jump. Might be a little bit of overlay to chase there. Good luck to everybody playing in the NBA streets this evening. I will be in your drafts for the remaining hours. On behalf of the BadgeBros who are no longer present with me, Neumy and Nez, myself, everybody's favorite time of the show, the end. Peace.